ships can be wonderful, but there are also some disturbing things that happen on them. There are actual morgues on most cruise ships. Overflowing toilets aren't as uncommon as you'd hope. Theoretically, cruise ships sound like a luxurious way to knock a few locations off your bucket list. At their best, they're paradisiacal wonderlands, filled with interesting people from all walks of life, mountainous buffets, and a plethora of activities. But a record number of cruise ships failed to meet health and safety inspections in 2017, and, after reading reports about overflowing sewage, secret morgues, and bedbug infestations, they begin to sound more like nightmare vessels than enticing expenditures. Here are some disturbing tales about the cruise ship industry. Lots of people die on cruises. It sounds macabre, but it happens, and more often than you'd think. There's even a website that keeps track of deaths reported on cruise ships, and breaks the causes down by category. While a significant portion of cruise ship deaths are the result of natural causes, old age is a common culprit. The website also lists suicides, incidents of passengers falling overboard, overdoses, and even murder. One cruise ship worker on Reddit claimed to see at least 3 deaths a month, while Cruise Ship Critic puts the number of deaths on cruise ships at 3 per week, worldwide. Cruise ships all have morgues on board. Cruise ships are legally required to carry body bags and maintain a morgue. Morgue sizes depend on the size of the ships. Should there not be enough space, crew may have to get creative. Ex-cruise ship employee and Reddit user Thatch Sibloke broke down what happens when someone on a ship dies. There were small refrigerators on the ships that, from memory, could take 1 or 2 corpses, but the contingency plan was to use a walk-in freezer. If it got really bad, then the bodies can be flown back anyway. Overflowing toilets aren't uncommon. Reddit user Phantom Split explains why it's not rare for a cruise ship toilet to overflow. On the bright side, it appears these mishaps can mostly be prevented with some common sense and discretion. You would be amazed at what people will flush down the toilet, Phantom Split wrote. Pool noodles, t-shirts, shoes, pretty much anything that people don't want to pack with them when they leave. Cruise ships primarily use vacuum flush systems. These are very efficient but very sensitive. A tampon or condom can take out the toilets for everyone above and below your room. Then somebody from the engine department has to start breaking open black water pipes or ripping open pumps to find the culprit. And your average cruise ship produces between 140,000 to 210,000 gallons of sewage per week. According to a 2014 report, that's more than 1 billion gallons of sewage a year that goes straight into the ocean, teeming with bacteria and harming both humans and marine life. Cruise ships pollute the environment. Despite different cruise companies' attempts to institute more eco-friendly practices, cruise ships still pollute the oceans. They dispose of harmful bilge water by dumping it into the ocean, can generate the same amount of sulfur dioxide fumes as 13.1 million cars and according to Daniel Rieger, a researcher at NABU, a German environmental association, they are damaging global climate and human health. NABU has also found that air quality on cruise ships can be around 20 times worse than air in a busy city center. Fires and explosions can and have happened. According to a recent report from research firm GP Wild, approximately 60 people per year are injured on cruise ships due to operational mishaps, which can range from small fires on the ship to actual explosions, as well as collisions, or ship sinking or getting stranded. In fact, a casino cruise ship caught fire with 50 passengers aboard in January 2018. Additionally, a Royal Caribbean cruise ship caught fire in the Mediterranean in October of 2015. Keeping food fresh is tough. Cruise ships must feed thousands of people multiple times a day, and all with food that's stored on board for however long the cruise is. Nearly 200 passengers on board the Ovation of the Seas cruise ship contracted gastrointestinal illnesses after indulging in the bottomless brunch in December 2017, while a staggering 332 Royal Caribbean passengers fell victim to a gastrointestinal illness in December 2017. Additionally, around 1 in 10 cruise ship guests contracted a gastrointestinal illness between the years 2008 to 2014. That's 129,678 people, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Nearly 300 people have fallen overboard on cruises and ferries since 2000. According to a report released for the Cruise Lines International Association (CLIA) in 2016 by the cruise industry consulting firm GP Wild, approximately 19 people go overboard while aboard a cruise ship or ferry every year. From 2009 to 2016, there were 8 fatalities tied to man overboard incidences. Cruise ships are not exempt from crime. The cruise industry isn't exempt from crime. As Joyce Gleason Adamitis, who authors a series of stories called Under the Captain's Table, wrote, there is a dark side of what can happen on a cruise ship. From petty brawls to downright theft, crime might not be prevalent on cruise ships, but it's not unheard of. In 2016 alone, there were 62 reported UAL assaults on cruise ships out of 92 total alleged crimes. NPR's Eric Weiner alleges that according to FBI statistics, some 16% of all murders and 7% of UAL assaults aboard cruise ships lead to convictions or plea bargains, or real-life pirates. While rare, pirates do happen. In 2009, the Piracy Reporting Center of the International Maritime Bureau claimed that pirates along the coast of Somalia had 214 vessels that year, resulting in 47 hijackings. Just last year, passengers on the Sea Princess departing from Sydney, Australia, were subjected to a 10-day dusk-till-dawn blackout to avoid a perceived pirate threat. Bedbugs and other pests often find their way on board. What was supposed to be a relaxing vacation turned into a nightmare, said cruise critic user Gordon046 after discovering bedbugs on their cruise in 2016. Bedbugs aren't necessarily present due to a cruise's uncleanliness or negligence, but they do happen. According to Vance Gulluckson, a spokesman for Carnival Cruise Lines, bedbugs typically are brought on board via guests' handbags or luggage. When cruise ships lose power, it also affects the sewage system. Raw sewage taking over ships has happened more than once. The Carnival Triumph cruise ship famously caught fire and subsequently lost power in the Gulf of Mexico in February 2013. For 5 days, passengers were subjected to raw, rising sewage. The plumbing system collapsed, propelling the media to nickname the debacle the Poop Cruise. The 3,143 passengers aboard the ship reported scarce electricity, water shortage, dwindling food supplies, and sewage running down the walls and floors. Eventually, the Triumph was towed to Mobile, Alabama. A mere month later, passengers on the Carnival Dream cruise ship fell victim to a similar fate.